no matter how deeply you love someone, conflict is a natural part of every relationship. You can't write off. It's not the presence of disagreement that defines a healthy relationship. Usually it's how you handle those moments of disagreement. And so the truth is, most couples don't struggle because they argue. They struggle because they never learned how to argue very well. So let me just put it this way: argue in a very healthy manner. And so I quickly want us to look at three very powerful, practical strategies or ways to minimize conflict very efficiently. It doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to have conflicts. Marriages have conflicts as one of their tendencies or one of the tendency situations, you know. And so when those conflicts come, how to manage them. That's exactly what we are going to look at. And so the three strategies, I'll need you to pay very much close attention and watch to the end. Now, strategy number one, pause before you react. In every conflict, in a relationship journey, it is advisable or it's very helpful when you choose to pause before you react. When we are triggered in a relationship, our instinct is to react very fast. It is natural of us as humans to react by way of self-defense, by way of wanting to blame the other partner, by way of wanting to not mind anyone. Go into complete silence. Moments when you wouldn't actually want to talk to your partner in a long time. But take note of this. Reacting is an automatic nature we have. We always would want to naturally react. But the very unique thing we always lose sight of is the fact that it's rather helpful when you choose to respond. It is rather helpful. And for you to be able to respond requires you being intentional. You deciding, taking that intentional thought of keeping things under control. And so responding requires you being very intentional. Now, how do you actually do this? So during moments when you are having a disagreement with your partner, for you to be able to stay very intentional, just take a deep breath. Take a very deep breath. It relaxes you. Pause for a few seconds before thinking to reply. And then, in the course of that, there are some questions you want to ask yourself. Are you doing this for either of you? To be declared as winner over the other? That's not basically it. So when there comes to be a moment of a disagreement between the two of you, it is healthy when you focus on finding a solution to what caused that disagreement to occur between the two of you. And you choosing to respond helps in making that happen. When you react, you actually lose sight of that fact. And so when you actually decide to go through the process of taking a deep breath, reflecting, and then, asking yourself certain questions, you give the brain or your brain the chance to move out of the fight mode into a mode where you now end up communicating with yourself, trying to ask the questions that gradually will lead you to the point of finding an answer to the challenge both of you might be having, leading to, or which might have also caused the two of you to disagree or have that slight conflict between the two of you. And so when you choose to respond with clarity instead of reacting with emotion, what basically happens is it helps to reduce the escalation of the conflict both of you are having. It reduces it from escalating and gets you to the point of having to achieve a moment of real understanding between the two of you. So pause before you react. Strategy number two, use I statements instead of you statements. One of the quickest ways to spark defensiveness by pointing fingers at each other. Compare these two statements where you likely may say, "You never listen to me. You never listen to me," against you saying, "I feel ignored when I'm talking to you and you are on your phone." So, in the second statement, both of you are involved. Here, you project yourself with what your worry is to your partner. And then you also draw your partner's attention to what he or she does. That actually makes you feel the way you do feel. And so here, none of you is actually being an accuser of each other. You draw yourselves into the same pool for you to now realize that no, what both of you are actually doing is not going to help you. And so you rather are made to now look for ways of finding solution to the problem or to the cause of the conflict you may be having. And so using I statements helps you to take ownership of your emotions without making your partner feel attacked. That's why I feel ignored when I am talking to you and you're on your phone. That is better than having to say you never listen to me. Your partner will feel accused, will be very much unhappy, when such statements are used. And so you using I statements, one or a few things you should take note of as benefits are that one, it's more respectful. Your partner does not feel attacked in any way. He or she feels respected. He or she sees both of you in sight as the cause of what is really happening and not the other person. And so you are both going to be required to come on the table with your suggested solutions to what the cause of the conflict may be. It's usually direct. Use an I statement. Usually it's direct. And it creates a platform for you to find a solution to the conflict you may be having very, very easily. Strategy number three, focus on repair, not just resolution. And so, not every argument will end with total disagreement. And usually, it's okay. I mean, yes, there are some arguments that don't end in total agreement. I mean, you both agree at the same time. It's okay because you're entitled to your different opinions. The fact that you are thinking this way doesn't mean your partner should think the same way. No, everyone has that right to his or her opinions. And we go into our relationships with that nature, and that has to be respected. And so when there is disagreement, it is not anything strange. It is normal with us. It is our nature as humans. And so it should be seen in every relationship. When you see it from that perspective, it gets you learning to show respect to your partner's opinion and not always wanting yours to be regarded over his or hers. And so you're going to have to come to that common table to finally decide unanimously on which way to go together for the good of your relationship. That's what matters most is how you repair after conflict. How you repair after conflict matters a great deal, you know. And so, how do you make that actually happen? Some suggested ways could be you apologizing when you've hurt each other. I mean, it's nice admitting that you are wrong and apologizing to your partner, letting him or her know how sorry you are. Offering comfort after tension, hugging each other, giving some, bouts of kisses on each other, each other's cheeks, mouth to mouth, forehead, none of that. That brings comfort. Taking a walk outside, discussing how that actually happened and what next. Reaffirming that you are on the same team, even if you disagreed, or at any time when you disagree, it doesn't mean you are on separate teams. You are on the same team. Because marriage is teamwork. It's not actually supposed to be one-sided. We are all involved. That's just what marriage is about. And when it goes in that direction, it becomes a beautiful experience, honestly. So when you are really sorry, I mean, say it. I am sorry. I raised my voice. I was actually overwhelmed. But that's no excuse. I admit I shouldn't have done that. We didn't agree, but I love you. I'm still here for you. The fact that we disagree doesn't mean I am out. I am not here. I don't love you. No, I still love you. You say this to your partner. It makes the game more interesting and beautiful. So these small acts of repair, rebuild trust, and prevent resentment from building. It grows a relationship very positively. One reality is this: when couples focus on being right all the time, almost every time, they end up missing the chance to be close. But when they focus on reconnecting, conflict becomes a bridge. It becomes a bridge that actually joins them together. It becomes a bridge that gets to help them to know each other more and more, to know each other's weaknesses, to know each other's limits, to know each other's likes and dislikes. I mean, all of those. It's not supposed to be a wall. Conflict is not supposed to be a wall separating the two of you, putting the two of you far away from each other. No. Adam and Eve had conflicts. You remember? Abraham and Sarah had conflicts. You remember? There have been several other people in those whom God started the institution of marriage with, far into the years gone. They had conflict. They resolved them and they moved on in that journey together for years. And that was beautiful. So conflicts don't mean something is wrong with your relationship. How you handle it, can either drain your connection together as couples or deepen it. So at any point in time when tensions rise, remember these three strategies. Pause before you react. Use I statements. Avoid the use of you statements. Repair with love. Repair with love. Don't focus on just the resolution. Repair with love. Truth remains that minimizing conflict isn't about avoiding problems. It's mainly about showing up for each other with respect, care, and very important, maturity. In the end, it's not about being perfect. It is about learning about each other and knowing how to weave, get entangled with each other in a healthy manner, in the same direction, having beautiful moments together and growing up together. So it's about learning. It is about growing. It's about choosing love, one conversation at a time. Make your relationship really grow beautifully. And for that to happen requires both of you